And I believe we're live now. It's been a whole week. I already forgot. How you doing, Rich?
Pretty good, Joe. Good to see you again. So, hope you indeed enjoyed your time away.
No. Well, enjoyed it, yes, but my wallet did not. Went to Vegas
Okay,
for
well,
4 days and did not treat me well.
the city of lost wages struck again, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately, I've yet to have any luck there in the last, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years. I think, living so close, I've gone so many times. It's like, no, you're good.
Well, it didn't get too much better here. I made a little bit of progress as I was telling you about. So we've like you said, you've never seen somebody so excited to throw an error. So that's where we that's as far as I got. Um
Let's see where we are.
all right, let me throw up a screen share here and much like you, I'm still struggling with all these buttons and all right, where do we go? Share the screen. Yeah, which one is it? Screen one? Yes, that's the one. Okay. Allow. Cool. We got it. Getting it. Cool. All right. So where we ended up last time, and just to recap for Joe and anybody else who's tuning in now, is I got the API running kind of in Kubernetes. And there was a couple of tricks that we had to pull off. One is I ripped out all the SSL because trying to get developer certificates working on Linux containers in this environment, like that's apparently going to be a whole other adventure for us. So I pulled all of that out, got it working in Docker, no problem, deployed it to Kubernetes. Great. Got it what I think running. One of the tricks with getting it running, though, is this command here, this minikube service API local URL. That gives you a little loop back. And when you do this for like an API endpoint or a web endpoint, like I said, you get a reverse proxy through to your container, which is great. I can run that, give it the URL with the slash contacts at the end. And as you can see, we get a blank screen, which indicates that we're not getting any data back. So you can read the logs off of your pod with the command wherever it went here. Yeah, here it is. Cube control or cube cuddle logs and give it the pod name, and it will pull up the logs. And here's the stuff that was happening earlier. There's a warning that it couldn't figure out the HTTPS port for redirect. That's not going to get in our way. That's just because best practices are trying to shove you through a secure tunnel. We'll deal with that another day. The real meaty part here is this actual .NET extension, this Kestrel extension, that an unhandled exception was thrown by the application, SQLite error, no such table contacts. Okay, so at first I thought, aha, why would that be? Well, let's check and see if the database is even there. And to do that, let me scroll all the way over here and copy this command. We can open up a bash, an interactive shell, straight on our pod with that command. So kubectl exec standard in TTY, give it the name of the pod, and then tell it to run that command, which is basically start a bash. So with that command, we're actually have an interactive terminal with our pod, and we can do an ls. When I first did this last time, the context.db was not present. Anybody wants to fact check that, you can go back through the YouTube video and see that. So he said, aha, I know how to fix this, right? We can come through here, we right click on this, we do the properties, we set it all to copy if newer, right? We go back through, rebuild the everything, redeploy it, come back in, we can say, okay, great, we're deploying contacts.db. And as we just saw a moment ago, I'm still throwing that error. So that's good that we've overcome one hurdle, but now apparently we're still not finding, our API is still not finding the database. I think this error is getting thrown. My guess is no such table as contacts because SQLite will spin up a temporary database if one doesn't exist. So they'll be like, oh, hey, Heather, um, learn us some Kubernetes. Yeah, I wish. um, SQLite will spin up a temporary database, and that will kind of live there. If you execute a read query against that, it'll say like, hey, no such table, which is exactly what we're seeing. It won't typically give you a database not found error like SQL Server will. It'll just say, oh, we can't find the thing you're looking for. If you start writing data to that temporary database, then it will stick around. If you don't write any data, when you stop your process, that database goes away. So that's my hunch,
Did you check
Joe.
the path in there?
Let's do
It's
that.
the path in the app settings. While you're there, why don't you type out the
Oh, yeah.
app settings? I don't know what the type command is in Bash.
I don't need it. I was just gonna, you know what? It's probably easier if we go back here to Studio because we have to rebuild it anyway. So,
Because I think it was hard coded to C : / blah blah blah. And you might just have to change it.
let's see. So if we go in here to our app set. Oh, wait, no, that's the API.
App
We don't
setting
have it dev JSON, right? Yeah. So it's just contacts.db.
So do a
Dot
dot
slash.
backslash.
Do we have to escape that with two?
In
I don't
that
know.
file, I guess you do. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's JSON.
Yeah.
And then I
All
think
right.
that will tell it to look at the local directory where it's running, which in this case is app, and that should do it. The other way is see if you can rewrite that file in the pod and just restart it. But if you do a new deploy, that should work.
Yeah. All right. So let's rebuild this. So we got where's my terminal window? Here we go. So we can do we got to stop this here. That's just a control C to stop that. So let's rebuild this, right? Let me get my command line going back here. That's Docker image build, right? Dun, 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 dun. We went through this structure last time too. Exit the shell. That's not going to do anything for us. And I think we're up to, let's call it 4.0. I got to write this on my whiteboard here. So I'm going to lose track of which one it is. So again, we're going to do Docker image build, contacts. Oh, wait. We also got to do one other thing. We got to stop the pod, right? We got to delete the pod. This should go fairly quick. That's happening. I'm going to go over here. We're going to do kubectl, delete pod, contacts API, pod. Oh, I like being clean, but I can't type. So, all right, that pod's out of there. Well, this is building. I feel like we need like a musical interlude. I have my local station, radio station playing in the background, which is 90% of the time 80s hair metal. I got a haircut. You're obviously not pulling off the you know. Well,
Damn,
we
I
can
last week. There is background music we can play that's part of the stream.
I feel like the Jeopardy music is appropriate, right? Isn't that the final Jeopardy? That's what this is what happens when I'm working off of my laptop rather than your beast of a desktop.
Mhm.
On the other hand, I can go to Starbucks. So
Mine's actually a laptop, so
oh, is it?
yeah, I got it massively upgraded because I got tired of sitting in demos and waiting and waiting and waiting. I did one demo that took like 2 minutes to build, and it was just like, I'm tired of that.
Yeah, well, we're up to 2 minutes here, so you can see the build counter up there.
Sad part is all you did was just change a configuration setting. It takes 2 minutes.
Yeah. Now when we push it, it's only going to deal with the layers that have changed.
Yeah.
It would be nice if the if MS build was stateful. I bet it is. I bet there's a way to only rebuild if newer. It's probably in the properties. We should probably read the directions for this stuff sometime, Joe. So we Docker image push RJ Dudley contacts contacts API. What are we up to? 4.0, right? Yeah. Cool. Oh, multiple layers changed. Why did that happen? New day. Whatevs. It's working. I don't know why. It's not working. I don't know why. One other thing we need to do. We need to file here. We're gonna have to edit the YAML file to deploy the correct where are we here? Okay, it's the intro. There it is. To deploy the correct version. And that is here, pod.yaml. May have been in here a few times previously since I committed.
Well, shouldn't you edit that file right in Visual Studio?
Maybe.
I mean, it would be easier. Add it as a solution item.
Did I add it as a solution item yet? I don't know if I did. Let's see here. All right. Add existing item, right? Oh, now I've done it. All my windows are floating now, and I'm verklempt. All right. Close, close, close. All right, we can add existing items, right? These two guys. How's it going? How's our build and deploy going? All right, cool. All right, looks like we have, okay, one layer already existed. All the rest were new for who knows what reason. I didn't muddle with the code that much, but now we kubectl. I can't say that out loud and actually type it. Apply -f pod dot.
I present.
Yeah, cool. So we should be okay. The radio station is playing Tom Petty's "The Waiting." It is the hardest part of demo. So that's cool. Ah,
Just type the name incorrectly or something.
yeah, always. I don't know. Okay, so it's there. What did I do? API local dash dash URL. Yeah, 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 yeah. The way is the hardest part. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Dig it. All right. Who knows? Let's go for contacts. Fader. Not unexpected. Let's take a look at the logs, huh? Such table as contacts.
Yeah, I still can't find that file. Although it was in right? Bash into it, see the files there.
Yeah. Let's bash into it. We can ls, right? There's contacts, there's app settings.
Oh, I wonder which version of Visual Studio is running. Can you bash? I think it's $env, right? And then colon. You want to get a certain environment variable. Is it ASP core environment? ASP.NET Core environment, I think.
Okay, let's see.
I guess it's
ENV.
not. A $sign might be. That could be a PowerShell.
Command not found. Okay, well, let's see here. Hmm. Hmm. When in doubt,
I'm Googling it now.
pull out my book, right? See if this index is faster than yours.
Just type env or print env.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Okay.
So look for it's ASP.NET _ something or other.
.NET version, ASP.NET Core URLs, 80, Hello Minikube. API local port, ASP.NET version.
Okay, so one or two things is happening. One, it's either pulling in the production version of it, which right now doesn't have anything in it, because you deployed it to the pods, unless you told it to only do development. If that's the case, we have to update the app settings.json with that location.
Okay, let's do that.
So
let's try that.
The other thing we can do in the meantime is in program CS, down towards go towards where is it? Scroll back up a little bit. Go into the SQLite. Actually, no, you don't have to do that because you already added the configuration. So somewhere between put it on line 21, just going to log out the database name. We might be able to do that in the SQL data store provider. I think there was a logger in there.
Okay. All right. So
just to see where it's looking, but I'm 99.9% sure that it's because it's not in the app settings, because we didn't see the ASP core environment.
We have the logger at that point?
I guess not.
Or it's not called logger, one of the two.
There isn't one injected in there because it creates one by itself automatically. Just go and add the app settings. Just copy the line from app settings development.json.
What the heck happened there? Oh, yeah. That's it, right? Okay. All right, and we will do that until it's done. Okay. So we've got it in both app settings. We should be covered. Everything's saved. Let's exit out of this. And we can kubectl.
Can you edit I was going to say, can you edit the file right there and restart the app?
Maybe. What's the edit command on the...
I'm guessing it would be VI. And then good luck trying to get out
of it. No. It may not be on here because it's such a thin container. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Because they're I forget what it's called, but they're shipping those really thin containers, and they have nothing. Like they don't even have ping on them anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a way to get into that using an editor, but I wonder if we could attach to it with no, because it's Kubernetes. There's got to be a way to do it. Why don't you look that up while I rebuild traditionally? There's got to be a way to connect with like VS Code or something directly to that, because you can do it in Docker. I'd be surprised if we couldn't do that there. All right. What did I do? Did I yeah. Kubectl, delete pod, deleter, delete. Right. There we go. Okay. Oh, Docker, right.
It looks like if you have the Kubernetes extension for VS Code, you can. But let's try to solve this.
Yeah. All right, we're up to 5.0, right? I think when we get this all worked out, Joe, we should do like a 1 hour end to end. So it looks like we knew what we were doing the whole time. And we just put that up there. Like, here's the best stuff.
Compress the 9 hours into one.
Yeah, it just, you know.
It'll be a good reference just to see this is what it took us, and now here's you can actually do it.
Yeah, here it is end to end.
Suffer through 9 hours with us.
It's frustrating as this is sometimes. I think we've learned a lot more about the internals of this stuff.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I like to figure out how things work rather than just hello world it and it works perfectly.
Which I was totally ready for that to be the case, though. Like, I did a couple hello worlds. I'm like, it's not failed yet. This is gonna be a easy 2 weeks. 2 weeks, we'll be done with this. All right, will that happen in? Let me the heck did my mouse go? The YAML files not the YAML files didn't load in here. What about that? Visual Studio just not show them to you? What'd I do wrong?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What did you say?
The YAML files aren't showing up in Visual Studio, so I'm just going to use.
Would they be in the solution items? It would be in that second folder. Visual Studio doesn't allow you to rename the folders. I had everything in extra stuff.
Gone.
Visual Studio just throws everything in solution items.
Yeah, there they are. Nope, I forgot about that. I'm still back in like VS 19 days where it would just show them at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
All right. Time to get modern. Get up with the times, man.
I mean, shut down your visual inner dev.
I had that. I probably still have the disk somewhere if I pull off that little blue binder. Docker image push. Okay, we got to push it to 5, right? This should only push 1 layer. There we go. All right, you mentioned it. Now I'm going to look for it. Expression Studio 4, Visual Studio 11,
Oh, you actually
2010
still have a
Pro.
binder?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
I got rid of my binder with all that stuff in it.
You know what? I just kept it around. Oh, here, not quite that far back, but here you go, Joe. Oh, let me see. 2003. Where's the camera? There it is. 2003 SP1.
Just trying to put you on
So,
camera to show it.
sorry. Yeah, yeah. There we go. Visual Studio.net 2003 Service Pack 1. So, let's straighten that out. I think I've got InterDev in here somewhere. If not, oh, there's front page. Front page, man. That was my jam. Oh, look. All right. Are we done deploying? Okay, cool. Now we run this bad boy, right? Cuddle, apply, file. You know what? I'm just going to go through here. Pod.yaml. Okay, cool. So let's see if we can just reload this or if we broke something. Problem reload. Yeah, connection was reset. Okay.
You have to start the
Happens.
TPI
I gotta do this.
with a different port.
Yeah, probably. All right, cool. Probably clean that shelf off and make up some room. That shelf is actually starting to get a little full of stuff there.
That was my goal this week, to clean up the shelf behind this blue screen. Come on, work.
What?
It's taking longer.
It is.
Maybe
That's
we should
exciting.
do that for-
Oh, failure. Extended failure. Let's see if anything happened in here. I don't know. All right, let's go over here and see if we can interrogate the log files.
Guessing it's the same thing. Something with the way we're addressing the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No such table
can't find
content.
the file the way we're referencing it. So, as much as I'd hate to watch you rebuild again, when you take out the period for // in the API prod.
Just do contacts.db there.
Yeah, because that's where it's sitting in the app folder, right?
Yeah. All right. So
hopefully that would tell it just to look in the local folder.
would be nice. That would be nice. Okay. Well, let's go back here. We'll kill that. And now let's Docker. Yeah. I need that autocomplete thing that you have. Docker image build. We're up to 6.0 now. Where's my marker? Here we go. Light switch. Oh yeah, Joe.
Beth Massey's baby.
Yeah. Expression. Good
When Light
stuff.
Switch first came out, I had Beth Massey come here to present to my user group. The local brewery actually had a beer on tap called Light Switch.
No way.
So we got a couple of cans or bottles of it to bring to the user group.
Oh man, I remember working on that. We had controls because I was at Opponent One at that time. We had controls. I remember talking with Beth somewhat frequently. I miss working with her. She's a lot of fun. All right, here we go. You know what I do have on that shelf, though? I'm not going to pull it off because I'm going to move too much junk. Microsoft Visual Basic 1.0 on both 5.25 and 3.5. Because at this
I
point,
used to have it on 3.5. I used to carry it around with me in those little uh, beige disc carriers that Radio Shack used to make. I would carry it everywhere with me because whenever a friend had a problem, I would install Visual Studio and figure it out.
the Radio Shack ones were good because you'd open them up and it would like,
Yep.
those were, yeah.
Welcome to It's Getting Old to Code with Rich.
Rich and Joe throw their back out going down memory lane. All right, there we go. Yeah, let's push it. We're going to make this, we're up to what, 6? Yep. Should just push that one layer. Granted, it's the most important layer, but man, I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to make this thing work using the local thing, and I couldn't. I just had to keep. Okay, cool. I had to keep rebuilding it, and deploying it to Docker Hub. The odd thing is, I had to deploy it to Docker Hub, but if you read through the logs, it applies it from the local cache because it already uses it locally. Like, whatever. What's the point of that? Contacts. Okay, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
What's this time? Yeah, it's the import. Come on. Oh, transferring data.
Oh, success, Joe. Have an AP running in Kubernetes. We're done. I wish.
That's not great. Let's see what night drive is.
Let's pull up. There we go.
Cool. We got Eugene. Sweet.
Nice. Who's your favorite? Let's try.
We got the API up and running.
Nice. Yeah, got an API running in Kubernetes finally. That's interesting. Although it makes sense that it was using the production app settings.
We never set the environment variables because you said you took out all that.
Yeah.
All that stuff when it built.
Yeah.
Oh.
So make a note
now the hard part, quote unquote, since this was really hard. Getting this is now get the web part to talk to it, and then we can play around with spelling and stuff.
I'm making a note. Okay, so didn't set down, so we're using. All right, so the hunch was correct. We debugged it. Bully for us. We got to get the web going, huh? Great. Now, how do we do that? Kill this. The API is going to be the IP of where we address the API. So we got to set that in here, right? Contacts web UI.
Yeah, in the app settings, we'll have to set the contact URL.
Yeah.
API root URI, line 3. But you need to know the port it's running with.
So where do we? I wonder if we can fix that somehow. Because now, if the web UI is running. Oh, by the way, this is one of the changes that I had to make last time. I don't know if you got that in my rambling messages to you, but this is the loopback URL for Docker. So that's cool. And the port changes. That's another thing we got to do is fix the ports. make them static. So we'll be running on the internal pod network, which means this is going to get an internal pod address, but it should also have an element of DNS in there. Do you think we could access this with the?
Well, that was what we were trying to do before. We should have just been able to do that, but I don't know if that would map to whatever port. Like, in theory, you should be able to do contacts API or whatever you called it. API
Yeah,
dash. Cool.
it should. Contacts API pod, right? The port should just be 80 because that's the internal port. Oh wait, we don't put the contacts in there anymore. Is that right? Yeah. That's the name of the pod. So I don't know. Maybe let's give it a shot and see, huh? We need to add. Do we have the YAML files for these guys in the web UI? We don't.
We never did because we were just trying to get the API working.
We never
For
got
modification.
that. Okay. We're just gonna oh yeah. We don't need one in there. We just need to add because they're solution level, right? So metadata. I'm gonna be able to put two of these things in the same file, but I'm just gonna copy it, right? And we'll call this UI pod. Oh, is that correct? No, it's not. Oh. Okay. Nice view of the top of my head. How's my hair doing, by the way, from that view of the top of my head? Should have been great.
Lovely.
All right. So this is going to be contacts UI, right? Contacts UI pod, project Kate's intro. Um, I'd have to do that UI. Okay, containers, contacts web. What's our container name? Is it contacts web UI? I think it is. Where's
Yeah,
my
so
doc?
we removed the periods a long time ago.
Right. Yeah. So this will be contacts web UI 1.0. All right, cool. And where did that go? And existing item. Hope I didn't. There we go. We can add that. Currently open file cannot be added to solution items. Why not? Okay. Whatever. Name UI.local. We'll call this the UI local service. Kate intro UI. This might be the port that we need. If we need a port, it might be this 32767. We'll make this 8. Let's see how that works. So, oh, great. I just hosed up my. Hold on. Save this as service local UI. I know there's a way to put them both in the same file. I will figure that out. But for now, okay, I'm going to put them in 2 separate files, 32768. And we'll make this Kate's intro UI, right? All right, let's add those as solution items really quick. Can I add them from there? Yeah. Add existing item. There you go. Oh no. All right. What else? Cool. So now we just need to do a Docker build One of these days, I'll remember this full thing.
Mhm.
Docker build. Docker image build. All right. The Docker file we want is .f contacts .web UI, because it's looking for the folder name / Docker file. And I'm going to tag it with RJ Dudley / contacts web UI. Tag it a 1.0, and then this dot at the end is absolutely necessary. Let's see if we got it right. Ooh, look at me. Now we got to build again. Here we go. This is when I really miss those build servers we used to have.
Mhm.
That's the next thing to figure out is how to wire this up to like GitHub Actions and just let that roll for us. That's a different stream, though. Anyhow, the port thing that I was saying, where the heck did the other solution items go? I don't understand Visual Studio someday. Whatever. Notepad++ doesn't let me down. So the port in the pod definition file, in the service definition file, oh, that's cool. Wrong monitor. Service definition file, we specify a node port. I wonder if that's the one we need to use. We can check that in a few minutes here. We'll know. Okay, cool. So now we deploy, right? Docker image push. RJ Dudley, RJ Dudley / contacts web UI 1.0. Okay. It should just need to push. Yeah. Did you know about the layers, Joe?
What about them?
Um,
Each one is a different version of it, like a different set of software installation. So every command you have, like, see where it says build 3 of 8, build 4 of 8, each one of those constitutes a layer. So it kind of figures it out and throws them all in there together. And in theory, it can reuse some of those layers. The problem with the builds is that it generates new code, even though it's technically the same. So it doesn't know that it's a new layer. But if you're copying a file over, like the context DB, that's always going to be the same. So
yeah, and it was smart enough to use the ones from the API. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a neat thing. Okay, what do we do? Okay, we deployed it. All right, so good. So now we cube, cuddle, apply, pod dash UI dot YAML. Cool. And now we cube cuddle apply dash F. What do we call that? Service local UI.yamo. Provided port is not in the valid range. Oh, splendid. Okay.
You were one off. must have been all that talk of BB. It put you at one base instead of zero based.
Oh, yep. Go to 6.6. All right, there we go. What window do I want? I want this again. Here we go. All right, rock on. Let's check our dashboard. You see some pods running here. Oh, a failed pod. No. Okay, let's examine the pods. Contacts. Ermagerd.
That could have been because you had the wrong port assigned.
Would be containers not ready. Containers with unready status. Contacts web UI.
That was probably because you had the wrong ports when you tried to run them.
Maybe. All right, let's try this. Unchanged. All right. Why is it complaining? Let's see what we did here. Name is contacts UI pod, contacts web. Oh, contacts web UI pod.
Who said spelling was important? Where's that red squiggly line when you need it?
Exactly. You know what? If Visual Studio wouldn't let me make that mistake, Okay, kubectl pod UI. All right, now let's see what we've got here. Okay, it's here. What do we have for pi? Still red?
That was 2 minutes ago. Did you start the pods? You just configured it.
Okay. Let's see what we
At
have
the command line, did you actually start it?
When you apply it, that starts it. So look, we're all green. Okay. Cool. All right. Here we go. Let's see here. So we should be able to come back here. And we don't want to do API local. We want to do API. Did I really call it API local UI? No, what did I call it? UI local. UI local. It is absolutely a naming convention I would give it while I'm talking about something else and typing. Oh, here we go. Let's see, Joe.
Well, that's going to load. It's just when you hit the contacts button is the problem.
Right. Here we go. Moment of truth, man. If this works, we're done. Like we call it.
Yeah, we call it 10 minutes early, and then we figure out next steps.
Yeah, we're done.
Next time.
Yeah. It's taking a minute. Swapping to development environment. Okay. ASP.NET. There we go. I'm going to copy that. Here. I'm going to put this in my notes here. All right.
Right now it's in production mode. That's why you're seeing that.
Yeah. Yeah, but that way I don't have to remember what the thing is. All right, cool. Well, let's look at let's see if we can get some logs here, right? Contacts UI pod. Let's see if we can get any. Oh, look, error messages. We like error messages. Resource temporarily unavailable.
Because you went to contacts API-pod on port 80.
Okay.
So go inside, maybe in the Kubernetes dashboard, tells you what's exposed. The names, maybe you just had the name wrong.
Very possible. Contacts API pod. All right.
So you can go back to the terminal,
All right.
into the web one.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you can't, because I was going to say you can just ping it, but ping's not going to be on there.
I can install ping, but the question is it the port or is it the name resolution, right?
Well, that's it. I mean, the first thing you could test is the name.
Yeah. Let's make sure we spelled it correctly. All right. So here we go. So it's looking for contacts API pod on 80. Temporarily unavailable. So contacts API pod.
Yep.
Should get it. Right. But here's the IP. Let's try this. All right. Oh no, wait, is that the Minikube IP or is that the pod IP?
That's the mini.
That's the Minikube. Okay. Um, that might be the pod. Okay, so we are running an Ubuntu. That's cool.
Can you go back to the error messages in the terminal?
Yeah, right here.
So it's going to HTTP contacts API-pod/contacts, and ASP.NET Core could not find contacts API-pod. So it's could it still be either the port number or the name? I think the only way to really tell is to put ping or something else.
Okay.
Even curl, because we can tell the names.
Yeah, let's see if we've got curl on here.
I doubt curl's on there. You can sudo into it.
Yeah, curl's on here too. All right, where's my? There it is.
Oh, wrong one.
What? Oh, you're right. Nope. Contacts UI pod, right? There we go. Still not on there.
Yeah.
All right.
So you could do an app install, right?
Yeah. Apt-get install or apt-get.
I think it's app-get. No, it's just app-get, depending on which version it is.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. This is going to blow up our container.
It's okay. It's just temporary. We'll have to rebuild it once we get the right URL and/or port.
Apt-get curl, right? Is it just apt-get curl?
Yeah, it's just curl.
Invalid operation.
Apt-get install curl.
Oh, install. Yeah. There we go. Yes. Cool. That's not going to work, is it? Cannot resolve host.
Okay.
Let's try that. What if we can do that? Yeah, cool. Okay, so that's working.
So you got to find the right name for it.
Yeah.
There's something in there that tells you the DNS name. You just did it to yourself, so There's no web server running.
Did I? No, I thought I did it to the API.
Click on the service ingress. Doesn't that tell you?
Services, yeah. API local. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is.
UI local is what you're running. So you want to go API local instead of contacts, blah, blah, blah. You called it API local, the next column.
Okay. Yeah.
So go back to the terminal and curl API local / whatever contacts.
API dash local.
I think it was dash.
Yeah, I think it was. Oh, all right.
So now you have to go back and update the app settings JSON and put in that new
API local, right? Okay.
And we should build and run it and test it and be right on time.
Right on to cliffhangers. And I told him last time, we do not plan this out ahead of time. We are winging it, but we always manage to land on a cliffhanger, don't we?
Yeah.
So, all right. So we do Docker image build. You know what? Docker image. Yeah. Build. No, I forgot my. Oh, no, no, no. Get out of there. Okay. Image build. Right. There we are. Contacts web UI 2.0. UI is 2.0. Okay. This works. And we're going to spend the weekend figuring out Azure and EKS, and we're done. Success.
Well, if this works, after you commit or submit the PR for it, we'll clean up the solution. I'll get it working locally, hopefully. And then we can do the AWS and Azure ones sometime next week. And then redo it all.
Yeah, and just have an end-to-end, everything works. Hello world. This is how easy it is on the Microsoft demos, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We'll turn it into a great looking hello world. Cool. All right. So that's pushed. All righty. Oh. One more thing we got to do is change this contacts web UI to 2.0. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, we got to push it too. Docker image push. Con. All right, cool. So that should just be awesome. Layer already exists. Push, track on. And now we cuddle. What do you do? Apply. -F. What did I call it? Oh yeah, pod SUI dot YAML. This should, all right, start it also. I'm looking for the start message, not seeing it. That's, like you said, a smidge on the disconcerting side, but here we are. We're running with the 2.0.
I was created 14 minutes ago, so that can't be it.
Well, that's.
Oh, oh, wait, that's 2.0. That's what we just did. Oh,
yeah.
Let's hit refresh and see if this works. Will support changed?
Oh, yep. Got to start this again over here. Cube UI local, rock on, right?
You just type in a new port number.
Interesting. There we go. We'll figure out how to fix that. Make that static, right? Okay. Contacts, viewer, contacts.
Drum roll with seconds remaining. No cliffhangers today.
Woo-hoo! Right on time, right at 6.
Nice. Let's play
Nice.
the background.
All right, fireworks, man. I want
There's no
fireworks. I want all kinds of stuff.
Well, cool.
Okay, so spend the weekend figuring out EKS and AKS, and now we deploy it.
Yep. It's awesome sauce. Have a great weekend all. We'll figure out when we're going to stream next. It probably won't be Tuesday because I'll be hosting the .NET Foundation Summit, which happens on Tuesday, dnfsummit.org if you're interested. Unless we do it later on Tuesday, but we'll see. Thank you all for attending. I'm glad we got it to work after the final question mark. Ciao to you next time.
Thanks, y'all.